The plane, just after taking off for Florida in perfect weather, suddenly plummeted to the ground. Along with 8 passengers, Aaliyah, a young Brooklyn native and a talented singer and actress.
Shockingly, this pilot was not certified to fly the ill-fated plane.
Barry, when Aaliyah died for a wrongful death, he got paid $90 million for her death.
They killed her! And that's what I've been saying. They killed her!
There is no doubt in my mind that Aaliyah was murdered by her own team. Why did Hype Williams move her music video shoot from Miami to the Bahamas, where she ultimately died from an accidental plane crash, which should have never been an accident in the first place because Lenny Kravitz sent a private plane to Aaliyah, which Hype Williams took from her. And of course, her abusive uncle, Barry Hankerson, took no blame for this accident because he went to the court and told them 4 days before they went to the Bahamas that if anyone were to get hurt, that he doesn't want to be held liable. He wants to take zero responsibility. So we've got a bunch of sketchy men who are organizing a music video shoot to take place in the Bahamas without valid transportation. The plane that Aaliyah died in wasn't even made for passengers. It was a cargo plane. The pilot was on cocaine and alcohol, and Aaliyah wasn't even conscious when she was brought onto the plane. So who is at fault here? Because Aaliyah deserves justice. So let's get into it. So on August 25th, 2001, we lost Aaliyah in a plane crash, which was deemed an accident, but I believe that her death was a wrongful death because this plane accident wasn't an accident at all. So Aaliyah was traveling, filming a music video when she passed away. This man, Hype Williams, actually moved the shoot to the Bahamas when they were already filming in Miami and using a green screen. Some people believe that this was a ploy to get Aaliyah traveling on her own because she's usually with her brother or her mother while she's traveling to shoot, so they could get her to the Bahamas and avoid the additional family members. This man, Hype Williams, is also connected to another artist named Left Eye who passed away in Honduras when they were on a trip together. So there's something going on with this Hype Williams fellow.
But what I was really more tight about was that I had heard that Lenny Kravitz had offered her a jet and that Hype had took the jet. So that's what really pissed me off about the situation when I heard about that. So you could ask Hype about that.
That's what I said. Have you ever talked to Hype about it?
Yeah.
And how did that conversation go?
Ask him.
But I also am asking you.
Yeah, but ask him.
I feel like you had some things to say to him.
So Aaliyah was working with a choreographer named Fatma, which I'm sorry if I mispronounce her name. I listened to about 5 different ways to pronounce this name, and it seems to be Fatma. So Fatma claims that Aaliyah got a phone call stating that Dame was in an accident, which prompted her to leave. At this point, she was dating this man, and she was probably concerned about her boyfriend, so she headed out. But after a warning that the plane was too heavy, she became extremely nervous and didn't want to get on the flight. People had claimed that she was drugged and carried on. This is something we've talked about in a previous video, that Aaliyah was supposedly on some type of medication and just like brought onto the plane. Like she wasn't even conscious. Fatma also took a picture of Aaliyah sleeping on the boat, claiming that she looked peaceful and wanted to capture the moment. Fatma would stay behind, claiming that she wanted an extra day on the island, which she was lucky for that one because she ultimately saved her life. But did she know something that we didn't know? When Aaliyah was out in the Bahamas shooting her music video, Lenny Kravitz actually sent her a private plane, which is very generous. But Hype Williams, the man who moved the shoot out to the Bahamas, took this plane, which is really convenient for him. But it's pretty suspicious that Lenny ever sent this plane in the first place. And when it comes to the plane that Aaliyah took, why was it available for takeoff if it was too heavy? Who approved for it to leave the runway? And the pilot had cocaine and alcohol in his system and a suspended pilot's license.
2 weeks before the crash, Aaliyah's pilot, Luis Morales, had been on the wrong side of the law when he got arrested for possession of crack cocaine and got probation after a traffic stop on July 7th revealed traces of cocaine in his car. The autopsy further revealed traces of cocaine and alcohol. Shockingly, this pilot was not certified to fly the ill-fated plane.
Why was he allowed to fly the plane? It seems like everything that could have gone wrong was going wrong, and there was no regulation. It makes you question who's the person who organized this entire thing, which is Hype Williams. But I do want to briefly give a shout out to a couple of the Twitter accounts that I'm pulling from today. I will link them below because I have talked about this crash before and how I believe it's not an accident, and I found additional information I had to cover on my channel. As I mentioned earlier, Hype Williams ultimately moved the shoot to the Bahamas, and it seemed like he was trying to avoid Aaliyah's family, which her mother and her brother were there for her, but ultimately her family did sell her off. I want to remind you guys that at some point she was married illegally to R. Kelly, which we have talked all about their relationship before. It is disgusting what he did to her, and thank God there's been somewhat, justice nowadays. I mean, Aaliyah was mentioned in the court hearings when R. Kelly was in trial. So, I mean, justice was served, but Aaliyah isn't with us, and she wasn't able to see this man go down who ultimately stole her innocence from her.
He told me that they were married, that she was pregnant. The reason they got married was because they felt like if he was married to her, and if he said he thought that she was 18, that he wouldn't be charged if someone found out she was pregnant.
R. Kelly's to blame, and her parents are to blame, because it's like they sold her to him. They had a sexual relationship that started when she was 15 and he was 28. They were married, and it was later annulled because the marriage wasn't even valid in the first place. But it's a really scary story when you look at her first album that he helped to produce, where she's quoted saying, "Age ain't nothing but a number." R. Kelly was harmful to Aaliyah. He took advantage of her, and she left clues behind through her music. Before Aaliyah's passing, she was featured in a film titled Queen of the Damned. This movie had a lot of foreshadowing of how evil the music industry could be. It also had some hints of her death, but I want to focus a little bit about this evil music industry because it kind of goes hand in hand with her family, because her parents sold her off to R. Kelly, and her uncle was a big part of her music management. Her uncle's name is Barry Hankerson. He's the founder of Blackground Records and ex-husband of Gladys Knight, who she claims that he is evil. He is a known control freak in the music industry, not allowing artists such as JoJo to have rights to their music. He's also had issues with people like Toni Braxton, and Toni actually ended up suing Barry for $10 million. This guy's just not a good man. I mean, he continued to work with R. Kelly after the allegations of what R. Kelly did to Aaliyah were already out there. He was the one who introduced Aaliyah to R. Kelly, and it was even rumored that R. Kelly had some type of relationship with Aaliyah's mother, which that is like, if there was some type of relationship between Aaliyah's mother and R. Kelly, it's just another whole other section to this story, which is so messy, because did the uncle and the mother work together to kind of give off Aaliyah to R. Kelly?
I found Leah. As a matter of fact, Barry Hankerson, my manager, who's her uncle, told me to go up to Detroit and hear her sing. Once I got up to Detroit, I didn't have to hear her sing because she was glowing. I knew she had it. As soon as she started singing, that verified it. And from there, we became here, and everything is all good.
But now I want to go back to this accident and the situation with her uncle, because this man is giving me bad vibes. I feel like him and Hype Williams and Lenny Kravitz all worked together to ultimately destroy Aaliyah. I mean, when Barry, her uncle, spoke about this accident, he wasn't looking for justice. I mean, he was quoted saying oh, if it wasn't an accident, then let God take care of it. Of course he wants God to take care of it because he doesn't want to be investigated along with these other guys.
If it proves not to be, then the wrath of God will deal with it if it isn't.
You know what, Barry? The wrath of God will deal with you when you reach his gates. But anyways, I want to talk about his role here because remember, he's manager of the year. I mean, he was sued for $10 million. It seems like he's screwed over so many different people. I think this is the most damning thing that I have to show you guys today. So 4 days before they went to the Bahamas for Aaliyah's music video shoot, her uncle and his company Blackground Records went into court and received a some type of demand, some type of waiver to where if there was anything that happened to anyone on set in the Bahamas, that they would not be responsible. Ultimately, her uncle went to the court in New York and said, hey, we've got something going on in the Bahamas. If anyone were to get hurt here, how do we protect ourselves and make sure that we can't be sued or be held liable? And ultimately they came up with this, and this was literally created 4 days before they went to the music video shoot. So it seemed like he knew that something was going to happen in the Bahamas and didn't want his company or anyone to be held accountable. And literally this complaint brings up the fact that if anyone were to die, he would not be at fault. His company would have no damages sustained if someone were to pass away, which seems like a huge waiver to have. Why does his company have this power, and why did they prepare this before this shoot where the main star passes away?
Barry, when Aaliyah died for a wrongful death, he got paid $90 million for her death. Am I supposed to say that on TV? For $90 million for her death.
Was that just for his rights or whatever he owned?
What she would have been able to make if she hadn't died.
Ultimately, this complaint right here, this contract, this situation that he filled out is just in my mind, a confession. This is him pretty much stating that there's going to be something happening at this music video shoot and we're not going to be held for negligence. So there's a lot of mystery here, and honestly, in my mind, it's hard for me to wrap my mind around it and figure it out. It's hard for me to conceptualize the timeline of how all of this happened, and I feel like there needs to be some deep documentary series into exactly what happened and pulling all the paperwork forward and really investigating Blackground Records for their involvement in this. I mean, I have to include a video clip that I found where pretty much Aaliyah's production stage manager is screaming they killed her. This was back when she passed away, and this person was just out in the crowd claiming that they took her life.
They killed her. And that's what I've been saying. They killed her. She went to a seminar. They were all over the place. Playing decent.
Will justice ever be served for Aaliyah? Honestly, I don't know. I don't think so, but in some ways, maybe. I mean, I think the situation with R. Kelly is a form of justice, but I would hope that we would understand more about this plane crash before everyone's passed away, because I do feel like there's something out there that points to who is exactly at fault here. I mean, is it Lenny Kravitz? Why did he send that plane in the first place? Is it her uncle? I mean, this man seems like he's a bad guy and he's ruthless. And if her mother was hooking up with R. Kelly, I mean, did she even really care about her in the first place either? So here's my email. If you guys have any other video ideas for me, let's go ahead and open this P.O. Box package item. It looks like it's from Michelle. Michelle, thank you. I love the pink packaging, and it looks like it's from a brand called Luna Bell. So we've got a letter right here. Hey there, Sloan. My name is Michelle, and I own a small business called Luna Bella Jewelry. I love the work that you put into your videos so much with the detail. It's so very interesting. I always watch when I have free time or I'm packaging orders. You're amazing and unique. Oh my gosh, stop, girl. You're gassing me up too much. Our brand motto is be inspiring, be beautiful, be unique, be you. I have included some sweet and dainty pieces for you. I hope you enjoy. It looks like there's a discount code Sloan20 for, I guess, 20% off. So if you guys would like to go and check it out, use my code Sloan20. I'll list everything below. I am so excited, and I'll list, like I said, I'll list it below. Use that code because, guys, we love to support a fellow subscriber. And ooh, what is this? So we've got two necklaces here. These are almost so cute. I was actually recently at a brand party and they had like a permanent jewelry thing. So this is like welded onto me. Isn't that cool? But look at this necklace right here. It looks like it's a like kind of like a piece of metal with like some little like jewels on it, which I love. I'm like, I definitely wear more silver, but I need some more gold, which is why I'm hyped to see this one. It's like a gold necklace that has like a rose on it, and it's kind of like in some type of frame. Why am I holding it at the mic like you could see it through the mic? Like, here you go. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much, Michelle. And thank you for watching my videos. It means so much to me. I love seeing these things in your guys' businesses. It's so impressive to me. Like, what the heck? How do you even like get your name printed on here? I have no idea where to begin, but these are so pretty. I cannot wait to wear one. I'll probably wear one in my next video, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.